to bring in, I'm delighted, Ann Bradbury is one of the top energy experts and leading voices in the country. And you know what? It's going to be cold tomorrow. I like a warm house. I like the lights on. And I like my new Nissan Frontier pickup truck. And I think we can do it all cleanly with a rational, commonsensical discussion. You know, when Joe Manchin was here recently, before I bring it in, he had a bunch of folks like harassing him because he's from West Virginia and actually thinks energy jobs matter. I want to talk with Ann Bradbury. She's the CEO of American Exploration and Production Council, and a real energizer on talking about energy and why it's an important issue that we really need to look at in less of a political way, but we need to do it on things like the primary and the presidential stuff and get these candidates talking about it, because last time I checked, we're at the end of the line in New England on, some stuff to make electricity, and we're paying through the roof. Ann, thanks for being with us. Ann Bradbury, before we get into we're short on time, and I want to get you back. We're in the final hours and days of the presidential primary. Ann Bradbury, take it away.
That's all right. It's good to be with you this morning.
Well, thank you.
As you point out, energy is so fundamental to so many things that voters care about right now. So 3 in 4 voters say that the economy is their top issue. Second is generally foreign policy, and energy is fundamental to the economy, and it's fundamental to our national security. So it should be something that the candidates and voters are talking about a lot right now.
Yeah, but how do we do it in a more effective way? Because it always gets politicized. Someone's got an agenda, and you can't even have a rational discussion. I mean, I love solar energy. I want to be green. I want to be clean. I love clean water. I love the mountains. I mean, but you can't even have a discussion because some people are just brainwashed on common sense, in terms of talking about energy.
Sure, that's exactly right. I mean, the fact is that so many people want to paint this picture that you can either have oil and gas or you can have a clean environment. And the fact is we can have both. The United States is the world leader in oil and gas production, and it is also the world leader in reducing emissions. And those two things happened at the same time. So these things are not mutually exclusive and shouldn't be portrayed as a choice that people have to make between the two.
And Ann, am I right or wrong? Ann Bradbury will tell you again her group, and she can tell us the website. But are we also home to more of the most natural gas reserves in some states, which can be effectively and cleanly extracted today, and we're not even tapping them? Am I wrong on that?
Well, what you're right about is that the U.S. is home to probably the biggest natural gas field in the world, the Marcellus Shale. It's located just a few hundred miles to the south of you in New Hampshire. But unfortunately, a lot of residents of New Hampshire aren't able to take advantage of this incredible resource that we have because of a lack of infrastructure. Energy in New Hampshire is about 70% higher than the national average. Despite the fact that it is so close to this incredible resource. And so we need better infrastructure in order to connect these resources with the people that need them most.
And, with inflation, sometimes that energy bill, and the other thing, Ian, I don't have it in front of me, but the CEO of Eversource wrote a letter well over a year ago to the Biden administration going into last fall, it was a year ago, October, basically saying that your policies are actually enriching Vladimir Putin in the war in the Ukraine to fund it because you're not allowing us to get more affordable natural gas to make electricity here in New England. Our customers are paying for it. And if you did some simple things on exploration, get rid of the Jones Act, he listed things that they could do. And, of course, tone deaf because, John Kerry didn't like it probably. What's going on?
Yeah, it's absurd. There's, New England has, extremely high use of things like fuel oil to stay warm in the winter, right? And again, your proximity to one of the biggest natural gas fields in the world and the fact that you can't connect that natural gas to states in New England, just a few hundred miles to the north, is really a tragedy. And it results in both higher costs for New Hampshire citizens, but also higher emissions because you're either importing natural gas from other sources or you're burning less clean sources. So it's really a lose-lose, and it's part of this false narrative that a lot of the environmentalists are putting forward.
All right. Ann Bradbury, again, CEO, American Exploration and Production Council. Ann Bradbury, what's the best way to contact you? I'd love to get you on even after the primary to continue the discussion, Ann, and talk about your work in terms of exploration, production. You're basically you represent, I think, probably 30 or 40 leading independent oil and natural gas type folks in the companies in this stuff. So tell us how people can get in touch with you.
That's right. So we represent the leading independent American oil and natural gas companies. Our website is www.axpc.org. And I always love to talk energy, whether it's an election year or not, because it's so important to and so fundamental to our quality of life.
Well, I thank our friends at Darby Field for getting you to us. I'd like to follow up and keep the discussion going in. Thanks so much.
Thank you.
All right, we come back.